Hey, it's Tom J. Stone. Let's make something with our publication. We are working on a 4-up landscape handbill. We've already created our guides here with cut lines in the center and 1/4-inch margins around each area, around each edge after it's cut. Now we're going to create some art in here. Let's create a Easter handbill, inviting people to an Easter event. So I'm going to just click draw art, draw text box. I'm going to put it right on my guide. I want it on my guides. That's why they're there, and you'll see a little bit later how that will help you. This is going to be called Alive. I'll show you what I'm doing here as I do. I should talk here. Let's go with Lucida Sans Unicode, and let's center this text, and let's make it bold. We're looking for big bold. Okay, so we've got ourselves our title. Let's make a subtitle. Actually, let's make this all caps. Oh, what did I do? Okay, there we go. Alive, all caps. Next, let's just take this box. We're going to copy and paste it. This might be a lazy way. I don't know if it's easier or not, but we're going to put it right there on our guides. I'm going to make a subtitle. I'm going to make this smaller. I'm going to hit Control A to copy it, to select everything in the text box. I'm going to hit Control plus Shift plus the less than button, which also is the comma button on my computer. And I'm going to make a smaller text. If you want to make it bigger, you hit the greater than button. Less, big, bigger, greater. Okay, so we're going for we live because he lives. That is a complete sentence, but it's also a title, so I'm not going to put a period on the end of it. I do want it a little bit bigger, so I'm going to hit Control A. I'm going to hit Control Shift greater than, and maybe just I'm going to leave it that big, and I'm going to make this one bigger. Okay, now that's too close for me. I'm going to move it down just a little bit. There we go. And let's stop with that. Okay, so we've got ourselves a nice big bold title. One more thing we're going to do. Let's turn these different colors. Let's make this one a dark blue. Let's make this one bold, a dark orange color. Alive. We live because he lives. Let's work on one more piece. Let's work on some graphics. You can download some graphics if you want. I'm going to just make some graphics. We're going to use this trapezoid, and we're going to make some crosses. Let's make 3 crosses here. Just about the right size. Ugh. Get rid of that outline. Let's zoom in so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so we've got ourselves a beam. Let's copy that with Control C, Control V. Let's rotate it 90 degrees. I think I actually might want it getting bigger inward. There we go. We're gonna, this will snap to the center and give you a pink line. There we go. How do we like that? That looks alright. I'll bring it down just a couple. Okay, we've got ourselves a cross. I'm going to group these shapes together so that when I click on it, it's just one piece. I'm going to hit Control C and V to give myself a copy of that. I'm going to make some smaller crosses. Now if you don't hit Shift, it will just skew all over the place. If you hit Shift, it'll keep that ratio. And that's what we want. We want to keep that ratio. Okay, I'm going to hit Control C, Control V. I'm going to move this cross over here. Oh, look at that. It lined up so perfectly. It lined up right on my guides right there. It's still touching. Okay, I'm going to move this over just a hair. Let's move that one over. Okay, so they're all touching. I like that. Okay, one more thing we want to do with this is when it comes to formatting, big and bold, we've got dark blue and orange, and then we've got this funky color. So let's make these the same colors as up here. Since this is the main title and Christ is the main figure, let's make his cross the same color. We're going to make it this dark blue. these two, I'm going to hit Shift click to to select more than one image. We're going to make these crosses the same color as the subtitle. And of course we want Christ in the front. He's not in the front right now. So let's bring forward, there we go. Christ is in the front, his cross is in the front, and the title is, let's bring that up a little bit. There you go, big and bold title, Alive, we live because he lives, with crosses in the front. If you wanted to put your church logo or something down this corner, that'd probably be okay, but don't add too much to the front. This is the eye-catching, attractive, big and bold invitation. The back will have the rest of the information. Okay, one more thing we want to do, since we have our guides and we lined up these text boxes and this artwork to the guidelines, we can copy this with Control C and Control V. We'll paste it, and then we'll just take all of this and we'll drag it right over into our guides. It'll be exactly lined up with the other one. I'm going to select both of these, Control C, Control V, and then we're just going to drag this down right into our guides, and boom. You've got yourself 4 ready to be printed, ready to be cut, with even margins on every side. If we don't use these margins, and we don't have margins on the inside here, this is double the space that's on this edge. But really, once you cut it, it's the same space. If you don't do that, you'll end up with something like this. You'll have fantastic artwork, but you'll have a big piece of white paper along the 2 edges, and the other edges won't have any. So you'll have to spend a bunch of time either cutting off this, which would be like a full bleed cut, which is fine. But just for simplicity's sake, we don't have to do that, especially when we have a background that's white anyway. So there it is. In the next video, we'll work on the back.